Now, I first want to start off with what the accessibility guidelines are. Now, the guidelines that affect us as teachers with online content are the Title II standards that are now part of the Americans with Disabilities Act. In practice, this means that all of the content that you have in your Canvas courses, all your digital content, including pages and images and videos, all need to be accessible by students with disabilities. Now, these guidelines are further described by WCAG. These Web Content Accessibility Guidelines tell us what we need to do. But all of that language is so overwhelming. Now, we're going to be covering a lot of ground in this video, but take a look at the checklist that I've created for you down in the description below. It's completely free, and it covers all of the things that we're going to be talking about today. The thing that has helped me the most in terms of really understanding what I need to do as the instructor is the POUR acronym. The POUR acronym stands for P, which is perceivable, O is operable, U is understandable, and R is robust. Each of these letters tell us exactly what we're trying to accomplish. Okay, so starting with P, perceivable. Perceivable really means it needs to be understood through multiple senses. And for our content, that usually means both seeing and hearing. So any images have alternate text descriptions, videos have captions, and we've got a readable color contrast between the background color and the text. Next is O. O is for operable, and operable means that students can navigate through your content, whether they are using a mouse or a keyboard or some other sort of assistive technology. So here it's really important that you are using the right heading format. Lists are really important, and a consistent layout for your class so students know exactly what to expect and where to find things. Next up is U, understandable. To be understandable, you will be using clear and concise language. Any links that you've got in your material uses descriptive text. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. And you're using clear headings throughout. Finally, R is robust, and robust means that your content can be accessed through different devices and different assistive technology. Canvas does most of the robust work for us, but we also want to make sure that any files that we've uploaded, any outside programs that we're using also accomplish the same thing. Okay, so we're getting a better feel for what accessible content is, but how do we implement this into our Canvas courses in a doable, strategic way? I want to show you what creating accessible content looks like using this page that I've already created, and I will tell you it is not done very well. I'm going to go ahead and click on edit here, and we're going to go through some of those accessibility non-negotiables. Canvas does a really great job of helping us out here. As I look at my content, I want to make sure that my headings have been designated so a screen reader knows what they are. But as I click on this A Car Loan Question, which is clearly a title, I can see that it says heading 3, which is a good start, but it's not in the right order. The title of the page, so this language right here, is heading 1. So this A Car Loan Question needs to be designated instead as heading 2. So I'm going to change this here to heading 2. Now, if you don't like the size or the font, you can absolutely change that. It will not change your designation here as heading 2. Next up, I've got this video, and my video is something that students would watch and listen to, but for a student that's hearing impaired, you want to make sure that you've got captions. This one does have captions. Let me go ahead and play it and turn the captions on. A lot of these captions can be auto-generated, which is great and super helpful, but you do need to review them, especially for any of your content-specific language that an automatic generator wouldn't recognize. Okay, so we've got captions taken care of, and then down here I've got a list, and I want to make sure that lists have been designated using my list format. Let me click the 3 dots up above that rich content editor, which is the box that I'm working in. If I click those 3 dots, my list shows up right here. And I want to make sure that I've used this list building tool so that a screen reader knows to read this as a list as opposed to one period, space, according to. So we want to make sure that we're presenting this in a list format. Instead of changing it here, I'm actually going to show you how to change that using the accessibility checker. Before we use that accessibility checker, let's scroll down. I've got a table here. Now, tables are absolutely accessible for data, but not for design layout. So what I've got here is great, but I do want to make sure that I've designated this first row as a header row, and I'm going to be adding a caption as well. And you may have noticed as I was scrolling through, I have a couple of other headings, and I've designated those headings with bold and a yellow background. That's not what a screen reader is going to be able to recognize. Instead, I need to use the next level in my heading hierarchy. Remember, the title was heading 1. The heading up here at the top, a car-loan question, that was heading 2. So this one needs to be heading 3. So that one's going to be heading 3. Let's go ahead and change this heading as well. So that one is also a heading 3. Next, we've got an image here, and the image has some really important information in it for students to complete this assignment. But if I click on that image and then click on image options, I'll see that the alt text says screenshot 2025 and so on. This is what the screen reader will read instead of the important information that we've got here. Now I can type it here, but I want to show you how you can get there using the accessibility checker as well. So I'm going to just X out of this. Continuing to scroll down, we've got a couple of links that I want students to use to find some tax rates. Right here, I've got just the click here language. Instead, we want to change that into Washington State tax rates can be found on their website. The screen reader is already going to recognize this as a link. Instead, you want really great, clear, descriptive text. Now, certainly, or go to, this is not clear, descriptive text because the screen reader is going to read HTTPS and so on. I want to change this. So I'm going to click on it and then go to link options. Instead, I am going to change this text right here to Washington State tax rates for vehicles. Okay, now I'm still left with 4 issues with the accessibility checker. Let's go ahead and click that accessibility checker. It will catch a lot, but not all of the critical accessibility issues. As I click on this, I can see that issue 1 of 4, lists should be formatted as lists, and I knew that that was a problem. Let's go ahead and just click format as a list. I don't need to start here from scratch, and then apply. Next, it says that we need a caption, and it says table should have a caption. So this is going to be future value. This is, I'm going to say car payment information. Apply. That way the student knows exactly what they're looking at. These things help not just the students that are using a screen reader, but it helps all of your students. Next up for that table, it says that there are no table headers, and I do have a table header, so I'm just going to say that I'm using a header row, that's the payment APR, and so on, and then apply. And here's that image. It needs some clear text that helps the students work through this problem. So I'm going to say image of a Subaru Crosstrek with a sale price, if I remember this right, of $30,838. I may have remembered that wrong, and then I'm going to hit apply. It's important to know though what Canvas won't catch. Canvas will not catch any files that you've uploaded that are not accessible. When you are uploading something like a Word document, so I've got a Word document right here, I can go into review and then choose check accessibility, and it will go through the same things that my accessibility checker did in Canvas. All of those same non-negotiables apply here. You can do the same for a PowerPoint, you can do the same for a PDF. Look for those built-in accessibility checkers. Another tool that can help is AI. AI can do a really great job of taking your instructions or your text and making it easier to understand. So if I copy my text right here, I'm going to do a Control-C. If you're on a Mac, you do a Command-C. So I'll do a Control-C. Back over here into ChatGPT, I'm going to say, can you make these instructions more concise and easy to understand. And I'm going to do a Control V to paste that in, and let's go ahead and hit the arrow to send it into ChatGPT. It will give me some better wording. So a nice easy way to hit the U there, understandable, of that POUR acronym. Now we've covered a lot, but I've really just barely scratched the surface in terms of accessibility. So I've got a couple of things here that will help. One of them is this free accessibility checklist for Canvas. It goes through that POUR acronym along with the most important accessibility formatting that you need to make sure all of your content has. I also have lots of video tutorials on accessibility and am in the process of making more. Please let me know how else I can help. If there's a video that you're looking for or a tool that you're looking for, I am always grateful to hear from all of you. Check out this video next.